Hello, my friends. How you doing today? Your friend Phil, project management trainer and coach here. I hope you're doing great. This is a really urgent message for those folks taking a multiple choice question exam, especially those who are taking the notorious PMP exam. It's a reminder that you really need to rest before your exam date. And there's a reason why I'm urging you to rest. You need to rest because if you're taking a situational multiple choice question exam, your performance will be propelled by your ability to think. If you can think and process information properly, your chances of success will be greatly enhanced. A few days ago, I had a student take the PMP exam. And to the best of my knowledge, this PMP exam student was expected to pass with flying colors. Not just pass, but with flying colors. This student had a run-up to the exam that was chaotic, busy, and crazy. Consequently, when this student took the exam less than a week ago, this student failed. This student failed below the watermark, below target overall. Some of the areas this student failed on were a bit unbelievable in that this student had prepared to the best of their ability and, to my knowledge, was ready to go in to face the test. When the student came back with a below target overall score, I knew that it had to do with sleep deprivation or the student's inability to think straight the way the PMP exam demands. A rather interesting article from the Huffington Post back in 2012 states that research has consistently shown that taking the time to sleep before an exam will benefit your test score more than 4 or 5 hours of staying awake staring at notes that you'll not remember. So rather than staring at notes that you cannot remember, get some sleep. Do something fun. This student got to the exam venue very early on that day and spent about 2 hours studying on top of what was done before that day. Consequently, the returns were marginalized. This same student, 4 days later, decided to retake the exam. The student consulted with me, and based on the history of this student, I thought it would be a good idea to take the exam, provided this student got enough rest and didn't do anything heavy before the exam. 4 days later, this student went into the exam and knocked the exam out cold. 5 above target. Above target in all areas after getting belows and needs improvement in some just 4 days before. That's the power of rest and sleep before a challenging exam like the PMP exam. So this is nothing but a reminder to those students of mine who are getting ready for the exam that rest could be a game changer in your success on the exam. 8 years before this, I had another similar student who was expected to pass. But this student did not pass. And I asked what happened, and I recall the answer was something to the effect of, I knew the questions, but I couldn't think them through, like having a brain freeze. This student went back a few weeks later and killed the exam. So what I would recommend for you to do if you are studying for the exam, study for the exam when you are in peak performance. Don't study when you're not able to absorb the content. And don't study excessively the day before your exam. This student, from Tuesday to the time the student retook the test, did nothing but revise high-level information. This student did not take any crazy 200-question exam or 50-question exam, but only revised core information. I would like to encourage anyone who has failed this exam to go through a checklist and include this as being a possible reason for failure, because the difference between below proficient or below targets and needs improvement all the way to the other end of the spectrum to above target is profound. What a huge jump in less than a week. I'm hoping that this illustration will make you understand that sleep is very important if you are taking a multiple choice exam, and in particular, the PMP exam, which is not a knowledge-based exam alone. Knowledge is important, but you could have all the knowledge and still fail the test. In order to pass the test, you need to be in the zone. And part of being in the zone requires full attention, optimal concentration that is achieved through proper rest. I have taken 5 PMI exams, and on one particular occasion, I remember feeling the drag of not being able to keep up with the questions as I normally would because of fatigue. I did, however, pass the exam and did not have any below proficients. But nonetheless, I did feel the drag of not being able to process the information as I typically would. No matter how good you are, no matter how much knowledge you've got, no matter how you're able to do things outside of the exam hall, you passing the exam is hugely dependent on your ability to think on your feet and be in the zone. Being out of the zone on any question, no matter how good you are, could imply failure. I hope that gives you some guidelines and ideas on how to rest before the test. It's not the knowledge, folks. It's the horsepower to process the different decision points and options with the application of the knowledge. Remember, if you're getting ready to take the PMBOK Guide 6th edition based exam, visit pmanonymous.com for more project management training, specifically live instructor online training. If you are getting ready to take the 5th edition exam, visit pmsucceed.com. I wish you all the very best and see you on the other end as a PMP. Bye for now.